Welcome to Rooted. I'm your host, Ruth Roach, and this is where we get real with the amazing people who make the hair industry what it is. You know how they say great hair starts at the roots? Well, the same goes for stylists, and that's what we dig into in this show. Speaking of incredible journeys, today I'm here with Antoinette Beenders, who is one of the most talented artists in our industry. She started out in Holland, moved to London to work with Trevor Sorby, has won about 27 awards along the way, and is now Senior VP of Global Professional Artistry for Aveda. So let's get into it. Trust me, you're going to love her story. So thank you, Antoinette, for being here today. This is so great. I appreciate you doing this, and I know all of our listeners and viewers will too. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a bit cold. It's freezing. I'm in Minneapolis.
No, you should move.
I know, tempted today very much, and it is minus 25 in the wind chill. It's crazy. It's so cold that my
minus 25?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
But anyway, I'm inside, so I'm good.
Cool.
I'm happy about
Stay warm. So let's start out with, tell us a little bit, I know some of your story, but I don't know,
Okay.
What drew you into the world of hairdressing in the first place?
Oh, it's funny actually, because you're part of my story, Ruth.
I know, it's so cool that we're...
I know. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know our history, Ruth and I used to work together over 30 years ago, when we both had really short textured cropped haircuts, because that was the bomb in the 90s, right?
Yes.
And I used to come over to New York and cut your hair short. I remember that.
I can feel it. I can feel you cutting my hair right now.
And I don't think you've had your hair short ever since.
No, I loved my favorite haircut ever in my life was one that you gave me in my apartment.
Oh, great. I remember the day we did that. Yeah.
That was the best haircut I've ever had. Just so
okay, well, then since then you've been growing it. So anyway, what drew me into the world of hairdressing? Well, I've been in hairdressing, I think as long as you have, over 40 years.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I still love every single minute of it.
I love that. That's so good.
Yeah, I really do. But my life's passion, I come from a family where my father was a photographer, my mum was an accountant. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm creative, but I'm also quite businesslike. So I have a bit of both. But my ultimate passion in life is not necessarily hair, believe it or not. It's imagery. My life's passion is imagery. And I think my journey in hairdressing has been a natural evolution for me in order to become a creative director. Just to give you a bit of a background. I started my career in the Netherlands, in Holland. That's where I'm from. At the age of 14. And I'd like to say I used to start as a Saturday girl. Now, what does a Saturday girl mean? It means someone that goes in, makes coffee, sweeps the floor, and basically general dog's body for all the stylists at the salon. So that's how I started.
A dog's body?
Yeah, that's what they say in England. It's like a saying. Or you'll hear a few, my language is English, sometimes translated from Dutch into English, and then very London mixed, combined with a little bit of an American twang here and there. So at 19, I moved to London. And the reason why I moved to London was that I saw the hairdresser Trevor Sorby, as both our mentor. I saw him in a magazine winning a hairdressing award, and I was like, wow, I did not know you could do that in the hairdressing industry. So I literally went to London, didn't speak any English, knocked on his door, went, hello, I'm Antoinette, because I've always had very much Dutch courage. And he goes, who are you and what do you want? And I said, I'm coming to work for you. And he said, oh, okay. Well, I think he was so gobsmacked that I was so forward that he took me on. And then he completely retrained me, because in the Netherlands I was trained according very much the French system, which was more based on blow drying, whereas in England it was all about, a derivative of the Fidel Sassoon technique, especially Trevor Sorby at that time, because he used to be an art director of Fidel Sassoon, for those of you who didn't know that. So in 1995 I won my first British Hairdressing Award. I'm giving you a synopsis of my life because it will go on for hours otherwise. And I won my first award, which was Avant-Garde Hairdresser of the Year. Then that was followed by 96, 97, when I won London Hairdresser of the Year. And that same year, I met an incredible guy called Horst Rechelbacher. And Horst Rechelbacher, he's the founder of Aveda. And it's actually really sad, because I've had three mentors in my life. One, Trevor, who taught me everything about hair. Then Horst, who taught me about holism and natural products and more about life as one. And both of them have passed now. So it's kind of sad. I've got one left. And the one that's left is like 90 plus years old, Mr. Leonard Lauder.
Oh, Leonard.
In there. I know, he's amazing. But anyway, so I decided to join Horst on his crusade to change the world using natural ingredients and products. So that was in 97. Then in 99, I was the first solo female, to be nominated for British Hairdresser of the Year. And I think I was the first foreigner as well. And it's quite interesting because in England, it takes quite a long time for the English to take them amongst you. You might have, I don't know if you've ever felt like that as a foreigner. It's kind of hard to break that.
I do. Yeah. I feel like that.
And now everybody thinks I'm English, so I must have done something, all right? So I ended up being nominated as the first foreign British Hairdresser of the Year. I didn't win. It took me another 6 years to win.
Yeah.
And eventually I won in 2004. British Hairdresser of the Year. First foreigner, not the first female, but the first foreigner. And then in 2005, I was asked by Aveda, the president at that time, Dominique Conseil, if I wanted to become the creative director for Aveda. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting, because I thought everything to do was with hair. But then when I said yes and he brought me to New York, it actually was to be the creative director of the entire corporate company. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn a whole new role. And I literally had to learn as I went, I mean, I remember sitting in meetings and people say, okay, what's our next holiday campaign going to look like? And I was like, well, it's cold in December, so let's do warming. It's all about red. Yeah. That's how I started. I literally had to learn from the start. But like I said, my dad was a photographer. I've been doing editorial since I was 18. So my images were doing quite well at the time. And that's what Aveda wanted. They wanted my imagery for their brand. So I ended up, being responsible for graphic design, packaging design, copy, store design, and the general image of the multi-million-dollar brand. And I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I did it for about 16 years. It got to, it also gave me the opportunity to travel a lot, because I took the Aveda brand outside of a studio. I took it to India, to Nepal, photographing real people in communities. I mean, it was amazing. I had the most incredible time. The other thing that happened to me in that time frame, that I was being taught by Leonard Lauder, the other side of the business, the actual business side. So he taught me everything about branding, brand equity. So I feel I'm being very fortunate, having had not only the most incredible mentors, but also the different variation in mentors and different things. So in 2019, sorry, it's a bit of a rattle, but I'm going to keep going. In 2019, I decided it was time to give back. And I changed my role from Senior VP Creative for Aveda, to Senior Vice President Global Artistry, which meant I could put my hands back into hair again. I'd done hair on the campaigns and everything, but I hadn't really done much in the trade for about 16 years. So I decided to go back into the trade. And then what happened, you're going to like this one, well, not so fun at the time. I moved my office from upstairs in the building to downstairs because it was easier schlepping my suitcases in and out, as you are well familiar with. And I had a shelf put up in my office to put my awards on. And so I make everything nice, and I thought tomorrow I'll come in and start my new job, blah, blah, blah. And I walked in the next day and all my awards were on the floor, smashed up. Broken, every single one of them. My British Hairdresser of the Year was all like mangled up.
Oh my
Every
God.
single thing was broken. Yeah. So then I decided, okay, well, these are only things, So I'll just go win a few new ones.
Right. Oh my God. Well, you've won 20.
Back in the awards.
You've won 27 awards.
Yeah.
Over 27.
Yeah, I think we're 29 now.
But you need to update your bio.
Yeah, I do. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're just things, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So I have a lot of broken awards, and then I thought, okay, let's start entering the awards again. And that's how I started going back into the trade. Mm-hmm. So it's only since 2000, I think I ended the first one 2020, something like that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I've had my second career in hairdressing.
Yeah.
So this gave me the opportunity now to really start mentoring the next up-and-coming talent within the Aveda network. And also get my hands back in. So that was really cool. And, I've just been incredibly lucky, and, well, not lucky, I've worked for it. Grateful. for my experiences. You know what I mean? It's like, it's our industry is tough, and it's even tougher as a woman, let's be honest. And it's hard work, So that's it in a nutshell. My 5-minute synopsis of my career. For the long version, we'll do the next podcast.
There's probably many of these, but like maybe your first one, can you share a defining moment in your career when you knew you were on the right path?
Yeah, I mean, I think, success is different for everybody, but with the heritage and the place where I come from, the House of Sorby, it was all very much about winning awards. So when I started getting recognized and win awards, I thought, okay, something's happening that is good for my career. And then that then helped me to get noticed, get recognized, and also get recognized by other brands. So I think winning awards was definitely a well-defined moment of my career.
For sure. Well, your work, it's just like one of my favorite people to look at. What you do is just stunning every freaking time, it's so great. So it's cool that you did do awards and got noticed, because a lot of people have gotten to see
and also,
who you are.
And also, I think what happened, like anything in life, I started my career in the 90s or late 80s. In the 90s, that's where I started making a name for myself. And then I literally stepped out. So I don't blame people that they don't know me from the 90s. So then I thought, okay, let's get back in again and re-enter that whole scene. Yeah. And that's kind of where my newfound stardom, so to speak, is from. It's from the last couple of years. It's not from my earlier years. Yeah. It's the people like you and who've also started in the 90s. They might have known of me, but the next generation definitely not.
Same with me.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, congrats on your second career.
Entry.
Within your career.
Yeah.
So, the hair industry can be tough, right? And have you ever been burned out or gotten burned out, and what did you do about it?
Okay, well, I thought about this question, and I don't think I've been burned out, but I've been freaked out. So I thought, okay, and I remember the day I really freaked out was the day that I was sent home because of COVID. I was like, because I've been going and going and going and going for like my whole career, and then suddenly it was stopped. And I realized, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I really thought about it. I had a freak out. I literally screamed. I'm in my studio downstairs, and I screamed. And my husband went, get it together. But I really did. I screamed because I was just I had never been in a situation like it. But what I did, I thought, okay, I need to believe in myself. I haven't come this far because I'm not good at what I do, or I'm not this, that, or the other. So just get it together and find out, what do I have to offer the industry from my home? So that's what I did. I built a studio downstairs, which we're sitting in right now, in my basement. I started weekly Instagram live interviews. For those of you that are interested, they're still in my reels. So if you go back a little bit, you can still, and I decided to interview everybody who I've worked with that I thought was interesting when it came to photography from my creative director side of the business. So I've got interviews with the most incredible photographers, designers, models, model bookers, makeup artists. So if anyone ever wants to do a little research, that is a really good place to start.
And that's on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's on my reels. Yeah. You need to go back a little bit because it's now more populated with image videos, but before that is all the I was looking at it the other day and it's salon, which is great. I'll tell you about another thing I did, because of course we couldn't have models or do hair or whatever. So I ended up filming all my techniques that I knew and learned and taught on mannequin heads. And then my husband, who's a photographer, he filmed them all and we edited them down. So I got lots of little clips and edits now on the flat wrap, and lots of little techniques that I use every day. I've got them on film, which also was something that happened in COVID.
That's great. So, good for you. I'm doing that right now.
Okay, it's a lot of work. Woohoo! Yeah. And then, and then I decided to start teaching again, but then also enter the world of digital learning. So I started doing lives and demonstrating and teaching people how to do a photo shoot and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I did a lot. Everybody sat at home during COVID. I worked my butt off. I didn't get a break.
I can't imagine you really sitting still.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I like to move around a lot.
Yeah.
I am very much a mover. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So we've talked about this a little bit already, and you've made such a huge impact on our industry, and just yeah, we know each other, we work together, we're friends, but we're also women, and it's just really great to see another woman, because there aren't a lot of women that have built a name as big as you have. So you're a great beacon of hope and inspiration for a lot of people in this industry, because there's a lot of women in this industry, right?
Right, like yourself, Ruth. I mean, you've done the same thing,
Yeah, but I just wanted to recognize that.
Thank you.
So I guess, we talked about some of your big contributions, but what would you say you're most proud of? You've got a lot of stuff to choose from, so it's got to be hard.
Well, the thing I'm most proud of, I think I'm one of the few, well, I'm not one of the very few women, but I'm also one of the few hairdressers, I think, that ended up breaking the glass ceiling in a corporate environment.
For sure.
And I don't think many people have done that, going from the salon floor into a board meeting.
Right.
I mean, literally. Yeah. So I think I'm very proud of that. I've had many, like I said, it's not lucky because I've worked for it. And I'm a big believer in manifesting.
Me too.
I've manifested every single thing. So, for instance, like one of the things I did in the 90s, that was still, I brought fashion into the world of hair. Because, and you might remember this, because at that time, people were just doing heads in the 90s. Yeah. Nobody did full length, or I was one of the very first hairdressers to start shooting photographs full length, because I came from the editorial world. So for me, that was normal. Yeah. And so I hang out with the Alexander McQueens of the world, and I was very fortunate to bring his costumes, his clothes. I was the first one to bring him to Tokyo, for instance. He hadn't even done that yet. So I've always been very linked to fashion. And a year ago, I was very fortunate again to create a collaboration with Iris van Herpen, who, in my opinion, is one of the most incredible designers, sustainable designers in the world, who also happens to be a woman, who also happens to be Dutch. So to me, that was like one of my bucket list ticked off. And then I've worked with Stella McCartney for about 10 years doing the hair for her shows. Yeah. So I really enjoy those moments. I love fashion. I'm working with a fashion designer called Bad Binge Tong Tong now, who's an Asian designer based in New York, who does incredible crazy shapes and things, and I love it. To me, hair has always been fabric of the body. So, that's why I'm very drawn to the fashion industry. In the early days, I was always backstage with Sandra Rhodes, with Trevor. And
oh my God, I remember working with her once. Yes.
Always like doing hair for her shows or her shoots. Yeah. So I've always been in that kind of world. I feel very at home there. And of course, one of the things I'm proud of, being the first female foreigner to win British Hairdresser of the Year. Funny enough, last year I won international at the British Hair Awards because, like I said, I entered the awards again. And I was the first one to win British, obviously all those years ago, but also international. The first British Hairdresser of the Year to win international, which was quite mad. Yeah. It was quite, because I'm the only one who's moved abroad.
What's that?
I'm the only one who's moved abroad. All the other British Hairdressers of the Year, they're still there on the island. I moved off the island. So that was kind of cool. So I think that's kind of something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think my ultimate proud moment was breaking that glass ceiling at corporate.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. I remember I did a podcast with Trevor, like earlier this year, and he was talking about, and that's why this podcast is called Roots, and I love that you have 3 mentors that you've told us about already. He was talking about, all the people that have come from Trevor Swarby and became their own names and all that. And he's like, look at Antoinette. She practically owns Aveda.
He used to say that. He once introduced me on stage. Like, remember when we did the tribute thing in London for him a couple of years ago? And he goes, and she runs the bloody company. And I'm like, well, not quite, Trev. Quite. I just let him get on with it.
So cool. So cool. So what would you tell an artist or hairdresser, whether they're in the business a long time or not, or brand new, if they want to get into photographic and session work, what's some advice about where to start?
Well, I thought about this question. I think you got to decide, why do you want to do that? Because do you want to become famous? Because there's a lot of people out there that want to become famous. Or do you truly want to be part of the fashion pack? Because both do not go together, in my opinion.
Right. They don't.
Or do you want to become a celebrity hairdresser? I have no opinion on any of them. and you do what you do, you poo. But at the end of the day, you've got to make a decision which route you're going to go. So if you want to become, a celebrity hairdresser, then assist a celebrity hairdresser, and get in it that way. Quite a couple of team members of mine have done that route, and they've done incredibly well, and they enjoy it. But you need to be very much into doing things of service. Like at the end of the day, as a hairdresser, we provide a service. If you do have celebrities, it's a service on top of a service. Trust me, like you have to be on their back.
Yeah, it is.
For 7.
Yeah.
So not my personal cup of tea, but a lot of people enjoy it, and quite a few people have done very well out of it. So the highest paid hairdresser, Ruth, right now is a celebrity hairdresser, not a fashion hairdresser.
Yeah, I believe it. That's
so okay. Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
For me, it's not always about the money. For me, it's about fulfilling my passion. So I went the fashion route, and then again, the way I would personally do it, and I don't know if it's still the way to go, but I would connect with an editorial hairdresser and see if you can assist them, and maybe at a fashion show, fashion week. And don't expect to be able to do hair straight away, by the way, because that's not going to happen. They're going to check you out, they're going to train you, but it's a time that takes process. And also, don't expect to get paid, because those things don't pay money. But it's once you're in it, it's really fun, and it's very creatively fulfilling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or do you want to become an Insta famous hair? Basically, get yourself a camera and start taking pictures, and find your style and do your thing and go for it. So there's so many different ways you can go nowadays. Again, with the addition of social media, it gives you another route to go if that's what you prefer. I'm maybe old school, I'll be the first one to admit it. So I'm more like, I like fashion shows, I like campaigns, I like imagery. That's my cup of tea. That's kind of how I do it. And people, cool. Because a lot of people actually ask me, oh, how can I assist you and stuff like that? And I'm like, well, don't expect to just Instagram me or DM me and become my assistant. That's not going to happen, Yeah. There's hundreds of people that want to do that. So I have, an A team, a B team, and a C team. Yeah. So my A team is my top team, and they will do my fashion show, my hair shows, my campaign shoots with me. My B team, they're the ones that also I will trust with hair, but they are not in a top position. I won't help them semi-lead shows with me. They're the backup of the A team. And then the C team is the newbies that learn from the B team. Yeah. So those are the ones that pass the pins, and those are the ones that do all the bits, that we all had to do in order to get there.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's the best way to learn is to be.
Yeah, you need all of. When you have a team, you need all of them. You can't just be a team of A or a team of B. You need to have A, B, and C. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
But I don't even know if I think that's great, because some I don't think everyone realizes that you're part of a team. Right? It's not about you as a hairdresser even. It's about, what's your role, stay in your lane, and,
and do one
learn.
thing. And we love enthusiasm, but like you said, it's not about them. So the thing is, what people find very normal nowadays is to just photograph everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not always appropriate when you're on campaign shoots or on shows, or when you're dealing with celebrities. Like a lot of times we've done fashion shows where there are a lot of celebrities. Well, you can't just stand there blatantly and start photographing them. That is not okay. You have to ask people for permission. That's normal, by the way.
I don't know if you've ever experienced this too, is like where you have a relationship with your photographer and your, everybody, right? And you've got your team, but someone who lacks experience might go up and start saying, something like, I'd love to shoot with you sometime. You know what I mean? That kind of thing that would be completely an uncool thing to do at a or talking too much. You know what I mean? Yeah,
well, the thing that, I tell you what, I don't mind that so much, Ruth, but what I do mind, and I literally will put a stop to it, is when they start commenting on the pictures that are being shot. Oh yeah, I don't like that one. I like that one. Well, we're not asking your opinion.
Right.
Like, and maybe it feels very natural to do that, but I've seen it happen a lot.
Yeah.
So whoever's out there and you're assisting, don't do that. Don't give your opinion straight away. You have to earn your opinion. I'm so sorry to tell you, but if you want to stay in the game, don't do that.
Good advice. So you know how a lot of people say, well, I'm not creative. I don't know how to do that. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
I think I tell them to stop talking rubbish. Everybody's creative.
Good.
You know what? You just got to find out what makes you tick as an artist. Some people, and it took me forever to find out I was creative. At one point, someone said to me, I think I was 20 years into my career. They went, "You're so creative." I'm like, really? I had no idea.
You know why?
Seriously, I had
Because
no
of your
idea.
roots. Because what you're comparing, you know what I mean? Like what you were brought up in is totally
Mm-hmm.
unique, you know?
Yeah,
And I
man,
was
yeah.
even talking
I
to
suppose.
Trevor about that. It's like, those days that we did those cool, all that weird, crazy shit that we did, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that was an era, and it's not,
Yeah, we still do it though. I mean,
well,
we just bringing it,
you do it. You
Mhm.
do it at your you know what I
My
mean? But I think it's
shows.
it's
Yeah.
a lost art of doing a show where it's conceptual and it's not just models, walking, where there's
Yeah,
meditation.
I think you're right. I think what's happened, unfortunately, the investment that goes into hair shows nowadays is not what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm fortunate that I still get the opportunity to create a huge show every 2 years because of Aveda Congress.
Yeah.
We do Aveda Congress is like it's at Redkin they have something similar. When you like do shows after
Symposium,
show,
yeah. Yeah.
symposium, yeah. So Aveda Congress is literally 2 days, show after show after show after show, and then in those 2 days I do something that's called the evening performance, and that is literally the Aveda hair show where I will showcase the latest ideas, the latest techniques, and I've done it with Cirque du Soleil. I mean, it's a full-on show.
So
My
cool.
last show I finished with 30 drones, literally arriving from the back of people's heads and spelling
What?
Aveda artists.
Okay.
If you want to come to the Aveda Congress, which I think is an amazing opportunity because you won't only see me, but lots of other incredible hairdressers from all over the world, I believe it's the 17th or the 19th of August, and it's in Minneapolis. And to get a ticket, you go to www.avedacongress.com.
That's going to be my
That's
birthday
easy.
present. Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
My birthday's in
Well, I'm going to put
August.
you to work backstage.
Okay. I'll be on the C team.
Okay. Come on.
No, I like being on the C team. Um, cool. So good. So everyone's creative because I think so too.
Yeah.
So if you could style anyone's hair, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Okay. So I thought about this. The Queen of England.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's probably, unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but you said dead or alive. So
Yeah.
can you imagine doing someone's hair, give her a makeover, and it's on every it's on all the money as well?
Oh, that's cool. Never
You know
thought
what
of
I mean?
that.
So, yeah, so it's probably, you're going to get lots of exposure with
What
your
how would
hair.
what would you have done to her hair?
Oh, get rid of that set. That set
Yeah.
was what made it so stuck in the 50s. I
Yeah.
would have I don't know, maybe blow dried or do just something completely different,
Yeah.
modernize it a
Yeah.
bit, and
Yeah.
then have it photographed. And then you're on the coins and on the paper money. I thought it was genius.
Forever. Forever.
Well, no, not anymore because she's gone now. So you're going to do Charles, which I'm not so sure if I want to do that. Maybe we can do Camilla, but she's
Good
not on the
idea.
money, so she's out. No.
Yeah. My God. Okay. Cool. The Queen. Mine was, and he's dead now too, but it was
Oh,
David Bowie.
okay.
I just,
I've met him. Yeah.
you mentioned manifesting a little bit, and I'd love to revisit that. Tell me, have you been doing it for a while, like most of your career, most of your life?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say most of my career, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
So tell
years
me,
more than others, but at the
yeah.
moment I'm very much into it. I think the whole Iris van Herpen collaboration, that was pure manifestation. I mean, I wanted to work with her so badly that I almost became a stalker. Like, and it wasn't happening. And when you want something that bad, then things happen suddenly. But there's things I've learned about it from other people that are really good at this. You've got to think it, you've got to write it down, and you've got to talk it out loud. And when you do those three things on a constant basis, ongoing basis, it's going to happen, no doubt about it.
So cool.
So think it, say it, write it down.
I
And
believe it.
yeah,
Damn it.
you have to believe it. And that's the whole thing. If you look at people like have successful businesses, it's because they've had a vision and they've just been thinking about it constantly 24/7. When I do a hair show or a shoot, I'm on it 24/7. It's like I can't think of anything else. So I think that's the purest form of manifestation.
I agree.
So
Rock on.
thanks, Ruth. Yeah.
Okay, here's a fun question. Well, it's not the funnest question, but it's coming. What's the most unexpected place you found inspiration for a
Okay, well,
hairstyle
this is my
or for a
favorite.
shoot or whatever? Yeah.
This is my favorite question, and I'm going to
Oh,
pick up my phone because I'm going to show you. You're not going to believe this because I was looking for this picture and then I found the picture of you and me. I found a hairstyle or something that I wanted to create for a hair show on the toilet in a hotel in London. I'm not joking.
like
And
it
I'm going to
just
show you
popped
the
into your
picture.
head? Yeah.
Look.
There you go.
So you see,
Cool.
she's got sparklers in her head. So this
Yeah.
picture was hanging in a bathroom in a hotel in central London. And I'm like, OMG.
Uh,
So I decided I was going to do firework hair
uh-huh.
because that was
Wow.
firework. And I did. I did firework hair.
You
And
had
if, I
hair.
don't know if you, I actually have it on my Instagram. I'm just trying to, I should really
Oh,
see if I
good.
can
Okay.
pick it up real quick because it's
So for those of you
pretty
that can't
out there.
see, if you're just listening to the podcast, Antoinette just showed me a picture of it's a vintage picture of someone with sparklers, right? On their
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Yeah. So like a crown, like a halo almost. So
I think I'm, yeah, okay. Are you ready now? So
yeah.
this was the end result of that. Look at the girl walking with firework
How did
hair.
you not burn her hair off? That is
Well,
incredible.
okay, here she comes out again. This is like a reel, obviously. Hang on. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That was one of those Aveda congresses. Yeah,
That's
and she comes out.
incredible.
Isn't that fun?
See, I'm gonna come every time. I miss seeing that kind of like wow, and it's not just wow because it's dancers or some kind of explode. Like it's the hair is well the firecrackers are. That's what it's about.
Shall I tell you how that happened? So obviously I saw the things. I still got like those sticks upstairs in my garage because I tried it on a mannequin head, doing the sparklers. And
Yeah.
then I realized that is a health hazard. That is not a good idea.
Yeah,
And when you have
yeah.
friends with long hair, that's going to be disaster. So I then had these pieces made, not of hair. And then I stuck those big, those fire things on a bottle of champagne, those shoot out. I had those and I stuck those in them.
Yeah.
And then they literally only go off for 20 seconds. This is how crazy I get. So I had to literally, as they walked out, I lit them and they had 20 seconds. I think it was 12 seconds to walk up and down the catwalk. So people literally thought that they were on the whole time, but they were only on for 20 seconds. So they went out and in, and as soon as they went back, the fireworks were done. But it was fun.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
This is maybe I should bring it back. I haven't done that for a while.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I was going to send it to Katy Perry, for her song, Baby,
Yeah.
I'm whatever it was, Firework. Yeah, Firework, wasn't it? Her song, Fireworks? I was going to send that hairpiece to her for her thing. But because it'd been on Instagram, they didn't go for it. But yeah, I thought it'd be really cool in it for a video.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, her loss.
Hey. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And that was a great story, and it totally inspired me. And please don't stop doing that stuff. Okay, don't stop. Okay, if your life as a hairdresser were a movie, what would be the title, and who would play the role of you?
You know what? This is the hardest question anyone's ever asked me. So I went to my friend AI and asked AI. Because I honestly, I was like, first of all, I'm not very good with remembering movie names. And this is what AI said. If Antoinette Beenders' life were a movie, the title could be Strands of Inspiration.
What could it be?
Strands of Inspiration.
Cool.
For the role of Antoinette, and this is actually quite nice, Margot Robbie would be a fantastic choice, bringing both sophistication and creativity to the character while also embodying the passion and artistry that defined Antoinette's career in the hairdressing industry. This movie would be beautifully showcase her journey, achievements, and the impact she's had on the world of beauty. Well, I can live with that. It's okay. So I'm going with it.
Amazing. When are they shooting it?
I have no idea. Maybe we should start writing the script.
Yeah, well, they just heard about it now, so
there you go.
All right.
So,
Awesome.
But yeah, more of that stuff, obviously, on my Instagram at Antoinette Beenders for anyone who wants to know about my work, or I'm very much into AI at the moment. That's also why I wanted to kind of finish this off a little bit with AI. AI is not a scary thing. It's here, so we need to get used to it. I don't know for those of you that are using AI already, but you can use it to ask questions or make strategies, marketing things. I mean, you can do so much with AI,
It's
and the more I
amazing.
learn about it, the more I love it. I also have been very fortunate to just work with someone who has he's actually a digital engineer. So my very latest collection, Astral, was something that I created with my incredible friend.
That was beautiful. It's beautiful.
And the hair's real, the model is real, but the clothes are AI. And I think us hairdressers who always struggle a little bit with the fashion and the clothes,
Yeah.
AI is your friend, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to happen more and more. You'll see it coming up in the industry. I just think people are a little bit nervous of it at the moment.
Yeah.
It's not going to take our jobs because at the end of the day, the power of touch will never go away. So don't be scared. We have a career for the rest of our lives. I really believe in that. So I think
I
we're in
agree.
a quite safe place as hairdressers.
Awesome. So, Antoinette, thank you for doing this with me. I have a feeling we could do another part two, you know?
We could do a
That's what
series.
happened. Yeah, a series.
Mhm.
So, thank you for all that you're doing for our industry. Thank you for doing this interview with me. And again, just remind us where people can find you, connect with you, and all that stuff.
Okay, at Antoinette Beenders, ANTOINETTEBEENDERS at Instagram or TikTok. Thank you, Ruth, for having this podcast. It's nice.
Absolutely.
I'm really appreciative that you asked me to do this. And it's always fun to hang with you and be with you. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.